Ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly glad to be here tonight.
Welcome to the Moon Men Podcast.
Don't be afraid.
A little escapade of mine involving a couple of planets which shall be nameless.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We're just gonna do this raw. We're just gonna jump in
raw
cold
like you did
and
me
see
last
how it
night.
goes. All right, we're restarting. No, just kidding. What is your biggest fear? I don't think I know.
Of course, you know it's the dark.
That's your biggest fear? You're scared of the dark?
Well, no, like there's other fears, but the one that comes to mind when you first asked that question was the dark.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay. What about the dark scares you?
Well, I think it's the unknown. Like, let's say you're in your room, right? Everything's off, and then you just hear someone clap. Wouldn't that freak you out?
Yeah, of course. But then I would go, "Oh, it was just a clap."
But you're alone in your room.
Oh yeah, Home Alone. Okay.
Like you're alone in the woods and you hear a clap or you hear a voice.
I would be like, "There's another person out here," but I wouldn't automatically like get scared of it, you know? I kind of understand what you mean about the whole like unknown part, like being scared of the unknown. But like, what about the dark specifically triggers that for you?
Because I think that's when I get in my head, like, I'll just picture a face in the dark even though it's not there, or I'll just start overthinking it basically.
You start imagining all these
Yeah.
wild creatures out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think the dark would be your actual fear.
What do
You're
you
not scared
think-
of death?
No.
Are you
Why would I?
scared of fights?
Fights? No, I don't think so.
Are you scared of failure?
No, I'm used to it.
God damn it. I got thrown off because I really wasn't expecting you to say, yeah, I'm scared of the dark.
And snakes. Snakes is more of a makes me cringe. It's not a fear of mine. You know what does scare me? Have you seen a video of an alligator charging at someone?
I think I've seen an alligator. I've seen videos of alligators charging, but like not at somebody.
It wasn't necessarily charging at the person, but it was slowly walking at like how close you and I are to the screens right now. That's how close the dude was to the alligator, and the alligator just had his mouth open the entire time, just ready to pounce on the motherfucker.
That kind of reminds me of spiders when they get really defensive, and I think it's so funny. You know, like when a spider's about to attack and it does this.
Yeah.
I think that's so fucking funny when it throws its little
I thought you were
limbs
scared of spiders.
I am scared of spiders, but I think that's funny. Like I don't like when they die and then they curl up into a ball afterwards. It freaks me out. Like when they're all like curled up and their legs are all touching everything. Ugh, it freaks me out. Spiders freak me out, but when they do this, I think it's funny. I think that's because of Animal Crossing.
You are a weird dwarf person.
You know what I'm scared of? You know what my biggest fears?
I don't care. Welcome back to the Moon Men podcast.
I fucking hate you.
No, I'm kidding. What are you scared of?
My one of my biggest fears, I have several, but one of my biggest ones is the ocean, the deep ocean.
I guess that kind of correlates to the dark.
That's what I was gonna say, because it's a whole unknown region of the planet that we've never explored. I have the thing, what's it called? Thalassophobia. That's what it's called when you're scared of the ocean. And seeing like videos of people swimming in the ocean and then looking down freaks me out, dude. It's like it's a type of fear that I can't even explain. When they look down and there's nothing but the abyss beneath them, ooh, I get fucking chills. It's way too much. And then like seeing people out in the middle of the ocean or like working on those oil rigs freaks me out too.
Oil rigs, like I guess you're afraid of like it symbolizes loneliness in a way, right? You don't like being alone. Were you checking
It's
yourself?
not.
Wait, hold on. Were you checking yourself out?
No, I had like a cough thing and I was blowing it out of the
Oh,
mic.
oh.
Um, checking myself out. I mean, I'm liable to check myself out at any given time, but come on. No, to me, it's not really like symbolic for loneliness or like being alone. It's more just, I guess, kind of how you were saying the fear of the unknown and the fact that the ocean is such a foreign place to us. Like, have you heard about the giganticism that goes on
Yeah,
down there?
yeah. Where it's like there's giant squids, giant everything, right?
Yeah, for some reason, when you go lower and lower into the ocean, as the pressure and the gravity increase down there, well, I guess pressure, not necessarily gravity, everything starts to elongate and turn huge. And so you'll have like crabs down there, right? And from afar, you're like, oh, it's just a crab. And then you get closer and you realize the crab is the size of a small desk. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, that shouldn't be that big. And then you have giant squids and these weird ass fucking things you've never seen before. They look like aliens and it freaks me out.
What?
And the other day, I was watching like a video of like ocean and like thalassophobia. And it was like a bunch of videos in this one video that triggers the fear, and I barely made it through it. I'm not gonna lie. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could not. I could not. I don't know why I do this to myself.
Um, but is any of that true? Like, are there actual giant squids that they've pulled out of the ocean?
Yeah, there's I'd have to bring up the facts. You know what? Let's do it, Kevin. Let's look it up right now. That's the benefit of working from home. Doing this from home is
I
because
mean,
you
I
can.
mean, we if you were at my house, we could have done the exact same thing.
It just feels cooler on a computer. You know what I mean? Okay, so
Jamie, can you
it
pull that
looks
up?
like the longest squid on record is 70 or 7.4 feet.
That's it.
Wait. The longest mantle length on record is 7.4 feet, whatever that means. But the longest squid total length from the top of the head all the way down to the tentacles is 43 feet.
Oh fuck.
Try to picture 43 feet. Like, you know, the overpasses on the freeway, those are only 16 feet, and those motherfuckers are tall. So imagine 3 or 4 of those stacked up into the sky.
I mean, I just have to look in between my legs, and then I'll know what 43 feet
Ha ha ha!
is.
Welcome back to the Moon Man Podcast, everybody. My name is Devin. I'm here with your co-host Eddie. Say hi, Eddie. Or don't. And why do you always do this? You can.
It's
always
our
mess
thing.
up the flow.
It's our thing. It's our thing.
It's the thing, but I fucking hate that it's the thing. I hate that it's become the thing. I don't like it being the thing.
Well, you're a weird ass thing, and I don't care.
And today we are doing another remote episode because we are both lazy and I'm not going to drive to Eddie's house today. So we're like, fuck it, let's do a remote one.
No, just
Look at you're dying right now. You're just like,
Devin. If you were at Devin, you could have been at my house an hour ago, and we would have been an hour in.
no, I was working out. I literally just got done working out
Like what? Half an hour ago?
like 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
I had enough time to shower and set up the computer, and now we're here.
Oh.
We're doing this. We're live.
And you want to get a studio? Just imagine we get a studio.
If we had a studio and we were at the level where we needed to like plan recordings, it would be a full-time job and I wouldn't have to worry about being late or interrupting my sleep schedule or my workout schedule, because that would be our main source of income. Like, if we had our own studio, we made it. We're in the podcast world now. We're podcasters. Congratulations. I mean, more than we already are, but you know what I mean. We're officially recognized by the mass majority of people, and it's become our main source of income.
I wouldn't say that.
Once you have your own studio, I would say that's the defining fact. You can invite people to your studio to come onto your podcast. It feels legit, instead of just like, hey, come to our house, we're gonna record.
I feel like that's cooler.
I mean, it's cooler, especially like if you're like a high status celebrity, because then you're like, oh, you're chill, I'm gonna come to your house. But it makes it more official for like a show if you have like a studio, a designated place to do the work, you know? I don't think any radio station that is produced from home is going to get the same level of respect that a regular radio station
I don't
would.
think there is a radio station that's from a house. Maybe there is.
There's a few. There's been radio stations like that for like a decade and a half now. And now they even got this new app. It's called AMP, and you can be a live DJ and have your own radio show on there. It's pretty cool. I haven't looked into it, but I saw that and I was like, that's pretty badass.
When was the last time you actually listened to the radio?
Yesterday.
You actually listened to the radio?
Yeah, KTUC. 1400 KTUC AM. It's an oldies radio station for all you Arizona locals.
Like, I feel like that's just like TV. Radio was the first thing to go. Like, a lot of people don't tune into the radio anymore.
No, you'd be surprised. A lot of people still listen to radio. Even people from our generation. I know a lot of people who prefer to just listen to the radio like on their way to work instead of having to fuck with their music because it's too distracting. Almost. I don't know. But the radio's still around.
I think it should.
I mean, a lot of people grew up with this, so like it just. What do you mean you think it should die? Why should it die?
If they play the same 7 songs every day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it needs some sort of innovation, but that doesn't mean it should die. I'm glad there's an app like AMP that allows people to innovate what a radio station is.
But they're not going to get recognized.
Oh, you're so fucking negative. At the end of the day, it's a way for the media to continue to move forward with us into a new age, and it allows people to get to experience new music on a daily basis.
That's why Pandora's around.
Oh my God. Yes, there's other options. You can use Pandora, or Spotify, or Apple Music, but there's something just unique about connecting with the live person somewhere in your vicinity, in your local area, and listening to music with hundreds of other people at the exact same time. Like it's just a special feeling, you know?
Or they could just open up a lo-fi video, exact same thing.
What's with your beef with radio? Why don't you like radio?
It's at a time it was it. Now it's not.
I still appreciate radio.
It's inconvenient.
It's not inconvenient. The fact that I can play a radio station from like my Google or my Alexa is really fucking cool. I'm so glad that radio hasn't died out yet. I think it's an industry we need.
Now sports radio, that's different.
No, you can't be biased and be like sports radio is good, but regular radio sucks.
Yeah,
because there are some stations that just play the same 6 songs over and over and over, and those are annoying. But there is some niche stations that are owned by very dedicated individuals who put a lot of time and effort into their show, just like us.
Good for them.
Yeah. You didn't think about it like that, huh?
No, because it's not the exact same thing.
It's not the same thing, but it's in the same area. I'm not going to be hating on people who are doing radio because look at us right now. We're sitting in front of mics. You know, we're doing a show. We put it out there for people to listen to. This is a separate, new, alternate version of radio.
It's a talk show.
In a sense, yeah. It's a talk show.
But
talk shows were originally on radio.
Exactly.
And so were the first like programs, like the drama shows that they used to do, which they should bring back.
It's becoming inconvenient. There's Devin. Those are dead. It's because it's transformed into podcast.
I don't think radio is dead, and I think it can continue to innovate. And at some point in my life, I'm gonna do something with radio. I'm calling it now. I would love to have like a local show where every weekend I tell live ghost stories. That would be fucking tight.
Go on, Devin. Radio's dead because there's a lot of things that substitute it already.
But all of these substitutions are their own unique variations of something that was already great in the past. Like, yeah, you have Twitch and you can do Twitch, but Twitch is its own unique thing. It's not the same feeling as radio. You know, you can't really take Twitch with you if you go on a drive. You can't really take Twitch with you if you go. You can, but the whole Twitch is a visual medium. You have to see it and interact and see the chat and see the person you're watching. Because think about it. If you're watching like a gamer too, they're only going to be saying like 1-word sentences every 30 seconds.
No, but don't watch those type of live streams. There's Twitch streams now where it's just chatting like this.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar. If you watch somebody like Kai Sena, even then, he's only talking like every 30 seconds, and most of the time they're just staring at the screen like. Even XQC or fucking Aiden Ross. Like all of them are pretty much the same, and they just repeat the same stuff. It's not like they're having like a conversation or you're getting a lot of like substance out of it. I'm not knocking them. They're great. They're fun. They're entertainment. But there's something special about radio that I don't think you understand. Did you grow up with radio?
The Mexican radio station.
Okay, see, that's why. I grew up with radio. We listened to it every day, all the time, everywhere we went. And it was like that up until like my early preteens when we started switching to like listening to songs on our phone because it was radio and CDs. That's what I grew up with.
And I grew up with radio and CDs.
Yeah, but like I don't think you really grew up with radio. How often were you listening to it?
Every time I got in the car.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, see, the difference is we had it playing almost all day long in some instances. Like I'd wake up on a Saturday, my mom would have the radio on in the kitchen and it would be on until we went to bed later that night. Like we had radio on all the time. I used to listen to all the shows.
Fucking annoying. Like
why?
At work, well, every day would be a new radio station, and I cannot listen to those radio stations at all anymore. Why? Because they play the same fucking music.
But like I don't understand. Like don't you when you get on your phone or you're listening to your records, you're listening to the same songs anyways. They're just not the songs that you're used to, but it helps expand your music taste. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, and more than anything, it's just convenient to have songs constantly playing without you having to fuck with them.
Yeah, but the songs I listen to on my phone are the songs I like.
Yeah, but you could also find radio stations dedicated to those genres that will play similar songs. If you like folk music, because you really seem to be into like folk and like
why do you think I have Pandora?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you could find an actual radio station.
I'm telling you, radio's dead because there's already new substitutions for it.
Nah, I don't think radio's dead. I think it's going to continue to evolve, especially again with apps like Amp where people can control it. You could literally get on there, create your own radio station, right? About all the music that you like, your niche of music, and then play it DJ live for like 2 hours. It's almost like a Twitch stream except it's audible.
Isn't that called a playlist?
Yeah, it's literally you get your playlist.
A playlist.
Wait.
No. A playlist you can get on
Playlists were
Spotify.
around before the fucking Spotify. They were called mixtapes. People would actually make them. They would get cassettes, they'd put it in their radio, and they would record the songs. They made mixtapes full of all their favorite songs. Playlists have been around forever. And now they've made it into an app where you can take all your favorite songs and play them live like a radio station to an audience who can tune in to your radio station. And then in between the songs, you can do the little like breaks where you're like, and that was blah, blah, blah by blah, blah, blah. What'd you guys think of it? I really like that one.
That is such a
blah,
stupid
blah, blah,
app
blah.
because you could do the exact same shit on TikTok.
So they're not allowed to try and innovate it because somebody else is doing something similar?
No, they're just copying. They're just copying something that's already being done. You could
but look at us. We're doing a podcast when there's like thousands of other podcasts out there. Yeah,
there's thousands of other and probably better, well, most likely better podcasts out there.
No, there's not. We're the best podcast on the goddamn planet. Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Name one podcast better than us.
Joe Rogan, Impulsive.
Nope.
What's your podcast? Fucking the
last podcast on the left.
Yes, that one. They're better than us.
I don't think they're better.
Small Town Murder is better than us. Serial is better than us.
Nope. I refuse to believe it because as long as I'm here contributing to this medium, I have to believe I'm the best. Otherwise, what's the point? I'm giving this my all. I'm dedicated to this and this dream that we're living, we're doing, we're accomplishing. If I don't believe in myself, no one else is going to believe in me. I have to believe that I'm the best podcaster out here and that I'm going to be successful. And eventually it's going to come true.
Man, I hate your mindset sometimes.
Why? Why is that a bad mindset?
It's not a bad mindset. It's just an unrealistic mindset.
But that's my mindset, and that's how I go through life. I go through life doing whatever I want to do, right? And believing that I can succeed doing whatever I'm going to do. And it usually ends up being the case because I put my mind to it and I see it. It comes to fruition because I willed it so. Wait, didn't you hear the new NF song when he talks about that?
What?
If you don't believe in yourself, how is anybody else around you going to?
I don't care if I believe in myself, and I don't care if other people believe in myself.
But that's the wrong mindset to have, especially as you continue
Wrong.
to
It's
chase your
my
dreams.
mindset. That's how I go through life.
Okay, explain to me how that's beneficial for you in the long run.
It's not. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All of this does not matter at the end of the day.
Exactly. So if it doesn't matter, you should live your life trying to obtain every single goal you set out for yourself and having complete freedom.
Why? So it could bring
Because
me.
if
So
you
it could
have the
bring
freedom
me.
to do anything, why not?
So it could bring me some like 2-second enjoyment, and then I'm done.
So you would rather not chase the enjoyment and do whatever you want to do and just not try?
Nah.
Why?
What's the point? There's no point in any of this.
I thought you were a Christian.
Yeah, technically yes and no.
If you're a Christian and you believe in God and serving Christ and the heaven as an afterlife, then that would give your life some sort of purpose and you would dedicate your life to that purpose. It seems to me sometimes like you don't have a purpose and you flip-flop from purposes.
Yeah, my life doesn't have purpose.
But like, are you comfortable with that? Are you happy with that?
I'm fine.
You don't care?
No. Because I don't take life serious.
Why?
No one should take life serious because it's all
You only get one life, so you might as well take it as serious as you can.
It's fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? It's
pointless?
No, not pointless. It's fuck. It's
God damn it, come on.
Oh man, I'm slipping right now. I can't think of the word. It'll probably come to me later on. It'll probably come to me at midnight tonight.
You'll just text me. Meaningless.
Or yeah, whatever. Fuck.
I honestly don't understand that mindset. Like we've had this debate many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I still, for the life of me, can't understand why you wouldn't want to dedicate yourself to anything at all in life.
I don't know.
That's like the whole point of existential nihilism. It's a philosophy where you understand that your life has no inherent meaning and everything is pointless. But because you realize that, it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want and to chase it wholeheartedly. Because if life has no meaning, then you have to give your life meaning. So whatever it is, whether it's becoming the best podcaster on the planet or starting a family and raising your family, you chase that dream wholeheartedly and see it to completion. And even if you were to fail along the way, you can at least die knowing that you gave it your all and be satisfied with that.
I'm still trying to think of that word.
So do you ever think your life will have purpose?
Eventually.
What do you think it'd be? What are you imagining it could be?
Hold on, I'm still trying to think of the word.
Dude, fuck the word. We're in the middle of a conversation.
Oh my god, because it kind of ties into my okay, but to answer your question, holy crap, I can't picture anything.
Like when you envision yourself 10 years from now, right?
I can't.
33 years old.
I can't.
Just pretend.
Oh.
What is your ambition at that point in life? What is driving you at that point in life? Especially as you're getting to an age where you're really starting to comprehend death and foresee your own demise. What's the thing that's going to keep you going?
Nothing. I have nothing right now.
So what is your purpose? Like what's motivating you to get up every day?
I just get up.
You just get up to get up?
I get up because I don't really I don't like thinking like why am I waking up? Why do I have to wake up?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because then it becomes a job. And then it becomes just long.
A chore?
A chore, yeah.
But like I don't see it as a chore. Like when I wake up, right? Aside from the fact that I realize I have to go to work and I feel miserable for about 5 minutes, I wake up every day knowing that there are going to be highlights in my day, that I eventually get to spend time with my family. I get to talk with my friends. I get to work out. I love to work out. I get to record the podcast with you. I get to write. I get to experience life. I get to be alive. I get to live. So despite any downsides that may come that day, I still get the chance to go and experience life and live it to the fullest, whatever that may be for that day. Some days it may be going out and getting drunk with my friends. Other days it may be kicking back and hanging out with my family, watching TV. But I can wake up every day knowing that I have short term and long term goals and that my life has some sort of purpose. I'm so glad that I found writing when I did because that became my purpose. I wake up every day and in the back of my mind, I think about writing. I think about becoming an author. I think about becoming an author that's going to influence a generation of people and that will be remembered throughout history. That's my ultimate goal, however irrational it may sound. And it gives me some sort of purpose. I get to wake up knowing that I'm striving to work towards that goal. Wouldn't you want to have something like that?
No.
Or does it become a chore when you look at it?
I remember when I was writing my script last year, and I
Yeah.
was so motivated. Halfway through, it became a chore, and I didn't want to do it. Eventually, this show is going to become a chore to me, and I'm not going to want to do it.
I don't think it
But
will. I think we
but
both
since
genuinely
no,
enjoy doing it.
hear me out. But since in my mind, I tricked my mind into just um saying that we're just having a conversation. That's it. We're just having a conversation to hang out.
Well, we literally are. I
No,
mean,
yeah,
and not to diss you here, but like you literally come, we have conversations, and then I do all the back work. So it shouldn't feel like a chore to you. But
no.
I'm hoping that it doesn't further down the line.
But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, but I
if
think it's just the way you're looking at it. You don't look at it with excitement. You don't look at it like I get to do this thing. You look at it like I have to do this thing. When you start telling
no,
yourself you have
no,
to do something,
at the beginning, it'll be like I'm excited to do this, but then eventually it'll become I have to do it now.
because I think you're being too hard on yourself. You're telling yourself that you have to do it. You're like, I'm going to write a movie, right? I'm going to write a script. And in the beginning, you're like, this is exciting. I get to write a script. You start writing the script and then you start feeling the pressure. You start going, okay, what if I don't finish the script? I said I was going to finish the script. Everyone thinks I'm writing the script. Everyone's hoping I finish the script. And then you start putting all this pressure on yourself to the point where you eventually go, okay, now I have to write the script. Devin just asked me about the script, so now I have to start writing more. This person was asking me how it's coming along, so now I have to keep writing. And then you start losing your enjoyment. You should find your own way of doing things and do them no matter what anybody else thinks. Like if you write scripts, on a burst and then you take a break and then you write another burst and you take a break, that's fine. That's your method. Do it how you want to do it. You know? Whenever I check in on you in regards to like your creative pursuits, I'm never doing it in the hopes. I'm never doing it to try to like pressure you into finishing. I'm doing it to help you gain the motivation to continue writing and to continue following your passions. Because at the end of the day, regardless if it's your writing or becoming a WWE wrestler, I want to support you on your goals, whatever they may be, and all of my friends too. But you can't push yourself or pressure yourself into thinking that it's a job. You have to see it for the blessing that it is. I try to look at it like I'm grateful enough to have been born in my family in this country where I'm able to pursue and live out these dreams. Had I been born at a different time, had I been born, in a different family, in a different part of the country, in a different country altogether, I wouldn't be able to live the life that I'm living. And so I use that as motivation to continue to try and live my best life and chase my dreams.
Uh, I don't know. If
Okay, you believe that life is inherently meaningless and there's no point to all of
no,
it, right?
I didn't say that. I said it.
Essentially, in the beginning, you said
I
it's all
said
pointless.
no. Yeah, it's all pointless. But I'm saying it to my perspective, my life. I'm not saying about you. If
But
if
no, I mean, you can't say that about yourself and not expect it to translate to everybody else because you have as much importance as anybody else in this world. So when you say your life is inherently meaningless and there's no point, then you're saying everybody else around you is too,
no,
regardless if you see it like that or not.
that's how you perceive it. But I'm perceiving it another way.
Okay, so you think your life is pointless. what is that stirring you? Does that inspire you to try to be something great, or does that deter you from trying at all?
That it I wouldn't say it motivates me, but it gives me hope that maybe someday I'll change this mindset.
Well, then at the very least, you have hope that one day you'll be able to grow into a person that can really appreciate the life that they have. So at the very least, you have that, and that can be a motivating factor for getting up every day, for doing what you need to do each day, and working towards your ultimate goals. That could be considered an ultimate goal, getting to a place where you really feel like you enjoy life and you're excited about what's to come and you don't see it as pointless.
Now, I'm not saying I hate my life. I'm not saying I'm not appreciative of my life. I'm just in my mind, it's pointless. Everything at the end of the day, one day I'm not gonna wake up, or one day I'm not gonna see the next day. It's going to end.
Well, no, that's the inherent truth of the universe. With life also comes death.
Yeah. So
But
whatever I do, it doesn't matter if I become the best director of all time. One day I will die, and that's it. Oh well.
what about the legacy that you'd leave
I
behind
don't
being the
care.
best
I
director
don't
of
care
all
about
time?
my legacy. I don't care if if people perceive me as a
You don't
good.
care if you
No,
inspire
I don't
you don't care
care.
if you inspire people? Well, no, like I'm not trying to shit you for not caring. I'm asking. I'm trying to pick your brain here.
Like I'm trying to put it into light where it doesn't sound bad.
Just say it however you want. Who gives a shit if it sounds bad?
My goal when we first started this was not for people to either find me entertaining or find me or I bring them inspiration. I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to have a conversation with you. And if people start liking me, good for them. I I I I can't control whether I inspire people or not.
No, that's a good mindset to have. And I'm not saying you should do it with the sole purpose of any one thing, whether it's just to have a conversation or just to inspire people. But now knowing that you inspire people and you entertain people and you bring joy to people's lives, what is that stirring you? What does
It's
that information cause?
I try not to think about it because then I feel pressured because then I want because I need to I feel like I have to keep up this image of the funny guy or the entertaining guy, and I
But
don't
you don't.
I try not to think like that.
But you really don't have to be the funny, entertaining guy. Like
No,
right now, we're just having a
no,
conversation. We're
I
just
know,
being
but
ourselves.
by you telling me I have this huge fan base and everyone loves me, I have to keep that mind. I'm gonna tell myself somehow that I have to keep that mindset. I have to keep that image. I mean,
Hmm.
I have to keep that image. You understand what I'm trying to throw down?
So it kind of ties into like what we were saying earlier. When you realize that there's an expectation of you, then it builds a pressure and it starts to ruin the experience
Yeah,
for you.
basically, yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So I
why.
don't think it's that.
So when I say I have to be negative to myself in order to keep going in a sense. Because if not, I'm gonna start feeling like I'm the shit. I'm gonna start feeling like I'm the greatest. In reality, I'm fucking not.
I felt a little targeted there. I'm not gonna lie.
No, no, I didn't mean you. I didn't mean you. I
But okay, I get what you're saying, but
like I'll start losing myself in the quote unquote lies people tell me.
it's not a lie though.
No. But if someone were to tell me I am the greatest, Eddie, you're the greatest director of all time. You're better than Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, and Christopher Nolan. Then I'll be like, fuck yeah, I am. I know I am. But in reality, I'm
So
not.
you try to keep a humble air about you, no matter what
Yeah,
level you're at.
yeah.
Okay, well, my concern is that at times it seems like you take it too far, and instead of trying to be like maintain a humbleness about you, it turns into like a negativity, and it ruins
No,
your
but
overall life
no,
experience.
but that's that. In some parts, yes. In some parts, yes. But for the most part, I have to keep myself humbled, or I'm gonna go way too far, and I'm gonna be ignorant, and I'm gonna be douchey, and I'm gonna be all these things.
I don't think you would be douchey. I think if
Eh,
anything, you would be a source of confidence.
Um, you You don't think so because you haven't seen it. But imagine.
What do you mean? Have you seen it? Has it happened to you already?
It's happened to me already, and I had to get humbled real quick.
Wait, in what regard? I
Like
don't
at
know what
work.
you mean.
Like I'm not gonna say where at work, but people were telling me I'm the best security there, and I start walking around like I am, and then something would happen, and then they start shitting on me. So I'll be like, okay, I'm not the best one. I'm the
I
most
think you genuinely. I think you're one of the best ones there.
I'm the most experienced one because I know my bullshit. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're definitely experienced, but I also think you're one of the best ones at that place you work.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, because you've sent me countless videos of you stopping robberies and intervening and like just genuinely taking care of the store. And I'm not going to sit here and deny that you're not a good security guard. But that doesn't mean that you have to live up to the expectations of being a good security guard. You can have the source of confidence knowing that you're good at something without giving into the expectation that you have to continue to be good at something. You get what I'm saying?
No, you lost me. So say it one more time.
Okay, so like if you become the world's greatest director, quote unquote, right?
Mm-hmm.
You become better than anybody who's ever come before.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can strip that away from you. And even if at some point you were to start diminishing in quality and your movies start to not appear as good to the general audience, who gives a shit? Because at one point in time, you were the best director in the world. You left your mark, and you can look at that as a source of confidence. Your name will hold value after that point. So even if you don't continue to live up to the expectations, that's never going to take away the fact that at one point you were the best. At one point, everybody was looking to you and going, holy shit, that's the guy.
But then that'll bring negativity to me because
And how
because that means at one point I was up there, but then I suddenly became down here. Like at one point I was there. Why am I not there anymore?
because that's just the natural
But
order of things. You can't be the best forever. You can't be your top self forever. And it's just a part of life accepting that at one point you're going to hit your peak and then at another
but
point you're going to slowly start to decline.
that's what I'm trying to avoid. That's why I try to humble myself. That's why when
You don't want to
no
hit your peak ever or
no
decline ever?
no I don't want to see myself hit that peak. Like let me I have to break it down like this.
Go ahead.
If if tomorrow I become the best version of myself, and then the day after I become the worst version of myself, the day after that I'm gonna start questioning why am I not at that point anymore. So when
But I think
let me finish. So when I say
okay,
my
okay.
life is pointless, I'm just trying to stay humble. I'm trying to not get in my own head and let this become a chore and a job and a drag to wake up every morning to make sure my mom is okay. I can't really think too much into it, or I'm gonna start fucking up. So
I don't
so
I
when
think you focus too much on the peak rather than just the overall experience of it.
no
You're focused too much
no
on maintaining
no
that level
I
of
try not to focus at all. I try to just go with the flow.
But then
And
that's the issue when you go. You're okay. I know you go with the flow for the most part, and you try to avoid not thinking about that stuff, right?
mhm,
But when you do start to think about it, as everyone naturally does in their own life,
mhm,
you start focusing too much on the peak. I think I'm not saying this for sure, but it
mhm.
seems like you focus too much on the peak and trying to maintain that level of efficiency and like acclaim when in reality it's not even really about that. It's more about the fact that you tried, you did it, you got to that level at one point, and then you can stop and go, you know what, I did it. I did what I set out to do,
and
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 you can take
and
pride in that fact.
and like I said, I'm hoping that someday I'm gonna change that mindset. And but right now, I just need to tell myself that I'm shit in order to become a better person.
I don't think you should tell yourself
No
your shit.
no. I'm just using that as an example. I'm using
I
that.
know, I know, it's a way for you to continue to humble yourself and not get big headed and have an ego.
Mhm.
But I don't think you need to tell yourself your shit,
No. I'm
and I
using
don't
that as
even
a
think you need to
metaphor.
like degrade yourself.
No, I'm using that as a metaphor. I'm using that as a metaphor.
But I know, like,
Mhm.
realistically, like, it's probably something very close to that and how you speak to yourself in your own mind.
Like I was having a conversation with my mom, and she was saying all these all these great things about me, but I told her all the bad things about me. because if I just listen to the good things, I'll start growing an ego and I'll start um thinking I'm the shit. I don't want to think that. I don't want to think like that.
But you don't have to. I don't know exactly where the source of the ego comes from, and that's a debate for its own podcast episode. But I don't think by necessarily allowing yourself to accept a compliment, it would translate into you growing an ego and becoming an asshole.
Yeah, it would. I think it would.
And plus, you have a great circle of people around you who would never allow you to get to that point, including me, Intro Girl, and all the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. I think it would. That's why I'm not good at accepting compliments.
But you should, because if you never let yourself value your accomplishments or the things that you've done, then you'll never appreciate yourself as a person. Like whenever I get compliments, as rarely as I do, I bask in the compliment for like the rest of the day, because it's a chance for me to reflect on everything that I've done and the person I've become and just appreciate it for a moment. You know? Because there's thousands of people that would kill to be in the positions we're in, just in overall life.
Oh my god, that's perfect transition. We have to do like a 2-hour episode now because we've talked about me for too long and I hate it. But speaking about people who
2-hour episode.
People talking about people who would kill about being in a great position. Do you know who John Morant is?
No.
He's the new face of Nike. He's a basketball player. And he's about to throw his whole life away because he flashed a gun in a nightclub while on live stream. But before that, there was allegations about him of beating up a 17-year-old and then flashing a gun at him and pointing it at him. So he's about to throw his whole life away because he wants to act.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't get why he's not allowed. I mean, I guess in a nightclub, like he snuck a gun into a nightclub, but I think people are just way too focused on it. I don't know. I don't know.
In what way?
Like it just seems dumb. Like it's a guy who's just fucking up and people are just a little too obsessed with him pointing guns at people. If he really did beat up a 17-year-old kid, then he's an asshole and I hope he gets tried justly. But okay, to be honest, how does this tie into what we were talking about? I have no.
I was just
clue.
trying to divert the conversation somewhere, and it worked.
Okay, how about okay? Let me switch it then. Let me switch it. I'm not gonna go back to you.
Please.
I'll switch it.
Please.
Even though I think it was a good, interesting conversation, and it'll give people a chance to reflect on their own self. But whatever.
I'm hoping to because I don't want them to listen to a lick of what I said. No,
it's the truth.
No, Devin, I don't want to hear it. Next topic.
Okay, whatever. Okay. This kind of ties into it though. Not really, but like it was gonna be my segue until you changed it and fucked up the whole episode.
Oh, that's my bad. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. I was getting too into the conversation. It was nice. It was good back and forth. You fucked it all up. So I hope you're happy.
Fuck you.
So I was gonna ask, what inspires you? Like, what is the source? Who or what is responsible for the person that you've become today and the person that you hope to be one day?
I'm not gonna say parents because I feel like that's a.
No, not parents. Let me break it down a little bit more. I say who or what in terms of like figures, things, or ideas that you've experienced in your life, outside sources that have solidified your new way of being. To give you an example, okay. I'll go into it, but to give you an example, one of mine would be like Logic. Logic was a staple in who I became.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So like, what are some of yours?
For me, it'll be Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan, how?
Because he's regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and he doesn't act like it. That's where my whole quote unquote personality comes from. Cause
yeah, he's just a humble dude, but it doesn't mean he talks bad about himself.
No, but that's how I humble myself. He probably does it in another way, but that's how I do it for myself. Like Michael Jordan, he is the greatest basketball player of all time, and he walks around like he is the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, all kudos to him. He has all the accomplishments to be the greatest basketball player of all time. And as he walks around, I don't like the way he walks around. Yeah, I
Personally, you don't like the image that he gives
I don't
off.
like it when people show their egos in in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but I think that's like looking at it too much at face value because we don't know if he's like a philanthropist on the side or if he like
Oh no,
puts a
no,
lot of money towards like others.
he's a great guy, but
Just that whole ego thing that's
yeah,
shining through.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so Tim Duncan, but what about Tim Duncan specifically? Is it just the ego, or is there more into it that like helped you become who you are?
Um, no, that was mainly it because um, I I can't. I think it was when he won his last championship. Um, I think they asked him like, Tim, you are 5-time champion. How do you feel? How do you feel to be probably among the greats? He's like, feels cool. That's
I
it.
would have said, "I'm going to Disneyland." They would have been like, "That's not the question."
That's not the question. But he's like, yeah, it feels good. That's
That
it.
was it.
That's it. That's the type of person he is, and that's the type of person I want to be.
Okay, so yeah, and that helped inspire you to start trying to be more humble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it definitely translates. I think most people would look at you as like a humble person. It's just your means of getting there. To me
No, I know.
personally,
It's horrible, but you got to look at face value. You cannot look more into it.
yeah, but I have to look more deeper because I'm your best friend. Like we talk every day. Like I'm gonna see the deeper. Everybody else is just gonna see the face value. They're just gonna be like, Eddie's a humble dude. I'm like, Eddie's fighting demons. Eddie, are you okay? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. Life is meaningless. like I don't know. Like, but okay, that's he was the main source of how you wanted to be presented to the world,
and
the
and
outside world.
I still think like that.
But that's great. That's a good mindset to have, to be humble, to be like a regular dude and not bask in your own glory. That's great. I think that's very admirable. Like for me, Logic was a big part in helping me come out of my shell and really accept who I am as a person. Because when I discovered his music, I didn't just discover his music, I discovered
Hold
the
on,
atmosphere of his music.
hold on, Devin. Keep talking. I'm just gonna leave the room to go do something real quick, but I'll still hear you. I'll still
What?
just keep going. Keep going with your point. Keep going with your point.
This just ruins the whole
No,
day. Okay,
it
whatever.
won't. It
Whatever.
won't. Just keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay, fine, fine. For everyone else listening, if anybody even gives a shit. To me, okay, you're nodding. To me, when I discovered Logic, it was a point in my life where I felt like I didn't know who I was and I was trying to be a lot of different people. And discovering his music for the first time led me to discover who he is as a person and how he presents himself to the world, and more the messages that he puts into his music that shows people how to like live a better life in a sense. And it really, really stuck with me. And he became almost like a role model in how I wanted to go about, as a person from that point on. It helped me discover like how to express myself, how to interact with others, how to care about people, how to put time and dedication into the stuff that I wanted. He showed me a lot, and he's a core part of who I am as a person and who I ended up becoming. And like I'm forever grateful to him for that. But he was one of like the big ones. Do you have any others? Do you have like maybe a show or maybe a game or anything? Maybe
Mm,
another role model figure? I don't know.
mm,
What
uh,
about like WWE? Did it
oh,
at all help you become who you
so
are?
just recently, it was the Undertaker and John Cena. Because again, I just when I watch something that's entertainment, I look for the person who's the most humble. Because then I get to learn from them.
Hmm.
Like the Undertaker, he was a locker room leader for 30 years, and if anyone had a problem, they'll go to Taker. And he still doesn't regard himself as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time because of that
Really?
humbleness. He's like, I just go out there and do my thing. That's it. I go out there and entertain people, and if people want to put me in their greatest wrestlers of all time list, then good for them. But I don't care about that.
So that too also played a part in like how you
Just recently,
portray yourself.
because for the past 30 years, the Undertaker didn't share anything about his life. But then when
Okay, so what about somebody like NF, for example, right? I don't mean to cut you off, but like, how does he play into like your overall persona? Like, has music or art or anything like that contributed more than just you trying to be humble?
no, NF expresses the creative side of me.
What do you mean?
Mainly with like the way he goes into music. Like a lot of rappers use trap beats now, right?
Hmm.
He uses instrumentals in his music. He uses a lot of
Orchestral sounds.
yeah, basically. And it I like with that NF, I don't know enough about his personality for me to make a connection with him. I just like his music.
But that unorthodox creativity helps you in your own writing to experiment and try new things.
In a way, yeah.
Does it bleed out into anything else?
No. Musicians just stick to in my mind just stick to um the creative side.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like for me, I've noticed that like I pull inspiration for all kinds of things from all kinds of places, right? Like I'll be inspired writing wise from somebody like Logic or even Eminem and their struggles entering the rap game and becoming rappers. Because it's a very similar story no matter what creative pursuit or no matter what dream you're following, you all kind of go through the same struggles. And so I'll pull inspiration from that, but then I'll also pull inspiration from somebody like Bruce Lee in regards to like my training and finding balance in my life and reading more. Like, do you ever do that? Do you ever like pull inspiration from other people in areas that isn't really what they're known for, I guess?
No, with fashion, I get my fashion from NF and J. Cole. That's a funny thing.
Well, that's an example. Like you're inspired by how realistically they portray themselves. Like
Yeah.
especially J. Cole, he's just like a humble ass dude and he'll like sit on the subway and shit.
Mm-hmm. Like
And so that kind of bleeds into like again portraying yourself.
like um when J. Cole met Obama, he went in sweats. And I one day if I ever meet the president, I'm gonna be the exact same way. I'll wear sweats and a t-shirt.
I'm not gonna wear sweats if I ever meet the president. I'll be honest. I think we talked about this in one of the other
Yeah.
episodes, but I couldn't wear sweats to meet the president.
I I don't know.
I'd at least throw on some slacks. Like I don't know. J. Cole's wild for that one.
He's just not traditional like I am.
Well, what president was he meeting?
Obama.
I guess that kind of plays into it because Obama's really chill.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I would go in with the measure of respect, and then develop a interpersonal relationship from there.
And then ask.
I mean, right? I don't know.
Then I'll ask the president and if he knows anything, if we have like aliens captured or something.
Yeah, like I'd build up. What the hell's the word? A rapport with the president. We build a relationship, and then I'm like, so is it cool if I get comfy? He's like, yeah. And so I rip off my clothes and I'm like in basketball shorts and like a wife beater and I got stains on my shirt. And I'm like, so we got aliens? What's that about? And he'll be like, what the fuck? Like he'll be thrown off.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come off like that. So
I don't mean to come off that strong. I'm just really excited. You're really turning me on. What would you ever tell the president that you're turning him on?
No, if I knew the president before he became president, I would joke like to him like that. Like if you become president, I'll still joke to you about that, like that.
Do you ever think you could become president?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think you should, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I could totally see myself doing something stupid like flirting with the president or like saying something gay to the president just to like get a rie out of him.
What happens if you do that to the president? Would you get arrested for sexual assault?
The Secret
Sexual
Service might like
sexual
eye you.
harassment.
They'll be like, "What do you think you're doing?" I'm like, "Hitting on the president, bro." Like, I'm not even gay, but it's just you have to. Like,
Well,
because then at that point, I could be like, I flirted with the president. you
what if it
know,
was? What if it's our first woman president?
it would just make me look sexist, wouldn't it?
Like I don't know.
I mean, it's not gonna stop me. I might look sexist afterwards. It's especially if she's bad, but if she's like, if it's Hillary Clinton, it's just gonna be a little light flirting. It'll be like, "Oh, you look so young. Like, your hair looks great." Like, I don't know. It'll be something stupid like that. But if it's a bad president and we're like roughly close to like within 10 years of each other, I'm gonna be spitting game.
This is just a complete 180. But when you first look at a person, what do you see?
I don't really know how to say it other than this. I see their being.
So-
Like, I look at of course, you see their outfit, you see their face, you see how attractive they are, you see like if they take care of themselves.
But like other than that,
But I use that and their mannerisms and the way they're interacting with the world around them to judge who they are as a person overall, to try to get some sort of like understanding of who they are. So like I'll look at like you, for example, I'll look at the way you walk, I look at how you're interacting with the people around you, how you're interacting with the environment around you, your body language, how you're talking, and then I get an overall essence of who you are as a person. That's usually what I see. I kind of look at everything all at once, and then like a computer, I'm trying to like analyze like what kind of person you are.
Mhm.
What about you? What do you see?
It just how the way they walk, literally.
Oh yeah, we've discussed this. You only look at the way people walk.
Oh yeah, we have discussed this. Moving on.
Damn, you're running out of topics, huh?
No, it was just yeah, I am.
You've been bringing up the same topic when we were trying to record yesterday too. You were bringing up topics that you talked about in other episodes. Oh man.
Oh, have you heard of the Stanley Meyer car invention?
What?
So there's this man. His name was Stanley Meyer. I forgot what time period he lived in. I think it was the 70s or the 80s. He was the first person to invent the first water powered car.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't hear about this.
he was the first person to invent to invent a car run by water. And when he was going to sell like the rights or the idea to an actual company, they killed him.
Really?
Yeah. And
So the conspiracy is
is-
that the government has the plans.
the conspiracy is that the government has the plans and that they killed him because he was meeting with these two people, these two officials. I don't know if it was government officials, someone important, some people important, and they were having tea. And when literally when he drank out of the tea, he started choking, and his final words were, "They killed me! They killed me! They poisoned me! They killed me!" And he dropped dead. And no one
It's like some Rasputin shit.
and no one knows what happened with those with the blueprints, with anything, with his notes. I think they all
But like, if the
I-
government killed him and they had access to like water powered vehicles, why wouldn't they utilize that like in their own military or try to build a business out of it that directly funds them and then sell these?
because
You know,
maybe I don't know. If they do that, I feel like we'll run out. We'll be in a bigger drought than we
don't
are.
defend them. Like logically speaking, like if they had that, why wouldn't they utilize that? We live on a planet that's 70% water.
Oh, because I think exactly. We'll run out of water if that was the case.
Water doesn't disappear. We've been drinking the same water for millions of years.
No, I think it was because they're still making too much money off of gas and oil.
If we end up having water cars in the future, hopefully I remember this because then I'll be like, oh, it was the government.
But as of now, I don't think we're other than electric cars, I don't think that's ever gonna be a thing.
I don't think so either. Plus, I mean, it would be a pain in the butt to have to like put a bunch of fucking water. Imagine, I mean, it sounds cool, but the amount of water you would probably need to get the car to
No,
run, especially long distance.
I forgot. Um, I could be wrong and I could be misquoting the video, but I think the video said, um, you could go from L.A. to New York with just 2 gallons or something like that, or 3 gallons.
How? How?
Devin, how the fuck?
Even with steam powered machines, the amount of water that they use, like it's almost inconceivable.
Devin, like I
It's
said,
unfathomable.
Devin, like I said, um, I'm probably misquoting the TikTok. I don't know.
Okay. Let's do a quick ad break because I have to run to the bathroom, and then we'll get into all nighter stories because you and I have done a lot, and I have some weird ones.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back after this message, everybody. And now, time for a word from our sponsor, Dubby. Dubby is a powder-based energy drink designed to be a great tasting boost that's not going to leave you jittery or crashing. It's got 150 milligrams of caffeine, and it's packed full of vitamins to help you get through your day. It's perfect for gamers or people who are just looking for a quick boost. Like I've said before, I use it before I go to the gym, and I'm in love with it. All of their caffeine is pulled from natural resources, and it just gives me a boost that regular energy drinks don't provide. So, if you'd like to try out Dubby, use code MOONMEN at checkout to save yourself 10% off. That's code MOONMEN to save 10% off at checkout. I've been drinking the Galaxy Grenade flavor, and it's one I really enjoy, but they have a wide selection of flavors for you to try. And they have some really nice shakers. So, if you're interested, go check out Dubby and use code MOONMEN. Thanks again to Dubby for sponsoring the show. And we're back. So, all-nighter stories.
Mm-hmm.
I've been staying up all night for almost as long as I can remember until my dad first told me about it, like when I was like 10. He just came to me one night. We were playing like Modern Warfare or something. And no, we were playing Little Big Planet. Shout out to those of you that remember Little Big Planet.
I only played the free demo version of that game.
Dude, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I
It's
played on the
legitimately
PSP.
one of my favorite games of all time. Like I had the PSP version, the PS3 version. I had Little Big Planet 2 and Little Big Planet 3. I played Sackboy's Adventure. I played like all the games. I love that series. But we were playing it, and then my dad hit me with the let's do an all-nighter. And he said it really fast. He's on an all-nighter. I was like, what's an all-nighter? And he's like, you don't know what an all-nighter is? And he turns to my brother. He's like, you know what an all-nighter is? My brother's all, no. And then we're like, what the hell's an all-nighter? And he's like, it's where you stay up all night. You stay up as late as you can, and then you just play games or you watch TV or something. And we're like, oh. And then so.
I thought an all-nighter was you stay up all day and all night, no sleep.
Yeah, well, technically, that's what an all-nighter is. Like, you stay up, you've been up all day, you stay up till like 1 a.m, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to stay up until tomorrow night. That's technically an all-nighter, right? Maybe even passing out in the morning. But the day he showed us that, it became a curse. We failed that night. We fell asleep at like 11. We fell asleep on some beanbags watching him build a world in Little Big Planet. But after that, I started staying up all night, like all the fucking time, especially in high school. Like and with Alfred too. Me and him would get in like the PlayStation parties.
Mm-hmm.
We'd start playing games, and the next thing you know, it was like 1 a.m, and we got to be up in 5 hours. And we're just like, "You want to stay up?" He's like, "Yeah, fuck it." And so we just stay up, and we would send each other memes to keep each other up, and then we would like play games and watch TV together. So I was gonna ask you if you had any like stories that stuck out to you. I know we did a couple all nighters together, but like,
I remember it was one day, me, you, Alfred, and my baby bro. We were you remember this?
not yet, no.
Okay, so it was probably like 2 a.m, and I told you guys I'm gonna go to bed, and you guys told me don't go to bed, don't be a pussy. So then
We used to tell you that every time. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm going to bed. We're like, Eddie, stay up, and then you leave, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
So on this one particular night, I was like, fuck it, I'll just stay up another hour. And I think like 4 o'clock rolls around, and I start getting tired, and baby bro starts fucking with me, like starts being mean to me, and I think I said like, "Go fuck yourself, Joe," or something, and and then Joe was like, "What the fuck?" You remember that?
Yeah, I remember
And then
that. That's when Tired Eddie emerged.
yeah, and then and, and then Joe was like, "Damn, Tired Eddie's a dick." And then after
Yeah,
that,
he spawned Tired Eddie. For those of you that don't know, Eddie's got different versions of himself depending on his mood because he completely changes the way he acts given on his given mood. So we had emo Eddie where he would slick his hair down across his eyes and he would just get like really quiet and he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't talk to anybody. And then we had Tired Eddie, who's the complete opposite, who was just a dick to everybody for no reason. Because Eddie's really mild mannered and kind of reserved in real life.
no,
He makes jokes, he talks, but like he's not too outgoing, right? Tired Eddie's a dick. You'll be playing a game and you'll die. You're like, God damn it, I died. And Tired Eddie's like, good, you fucking suck. And you're like, dude, what the hell? And then you'll be like, oh, I'm tired. And then Tired Eddie will be like, then go to fucking bed, dipshit. And you're like, whoa. Like, Tired Eddie doesn't give a fuck. Like, Honey Badger doesn't give a fuck. Tired Eddie doesn't give a fuck.
I don't think anyone said that joke.
There's somebody out there who got the joke.
Right, most likely.
Hopefully, because if they haven't seen the Honey Badger video, then they're fucking up. That's a
haven't seen the Honey
classic.
Badger.
It's like Chocolate Rain.
What? I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Chocolate Rain is?
No,
The video from YouTube where that guy was singing?
no.
You don't remember Chocolate Rain? Oh, do you remember the Harlem Shake?
Yeah.
Okay. You pass. Two Girls, One Cup?
Oh, don't bring that up.
Do you know that when you look up Blue Waffle, it doesn't show what it used to show?
Wait. What does it actually show? Blue waffle?
It shows blue waffles. These kids today are so spoiled. They didn't have the scarring that we had back
Yes.
in our day.
Let
For
me-
those of you that are unaware, if you looked up the term blue waffle on Google and you went to images, it would show you some pretty raunchy pictures of some
yeah, literally
vaginal infections.
all they show is an actual blue waffle.
Now, if you look it up, they'll show you a waffle that's the color blue instead of the scarring shit that we used to look up. There's certain phrases. There's another one too. Like if you looked up, I believe it was squirt, it would show like mid porn video, some girl squirting. Now it just shows the turtle from like Nemo. What the fuck is that? Eddie just showed me a blue waffle with the blue vagina on top of it. It was a Smurf's vagina that they cut off. Poor Smurfette. Is Smurfette the only Smurf in the Smurf Village? I mean, is Smurfette the only girl Smurf in the Smurf Village?
I think so. See, I search
There's
up,
no other girl Smurfs?
I search up squirt, and it shows that.
The soda and the turtle.
Yeah, but then if you swipe right, it shows that.
It's not popping up. Let me see. It's still not popping. Oh my god! It's teaching you how to make someone squirt.
Yeah, looks like it.
So that's you just hit the G spot then.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, you insert your finger and then you go directly up and you wiggle around there. It works every time. But make sure like you're pulling back as you're wiggling up. So you go up, you hook it, and then you come back, wiggle right there. Every time. Maybe I'll bleep that out. I don't know.
Back to the all-nighter stories. What was
Yeah. Dude, I have a lot because I used to stay up all night all the time. But one of the ones that sticks out to me is the night that I stayed up for like 3 days. Well, not the night. I stayed up for like 3 days straight at one point, right? I don't remember what I was doing. I was a delinquent. I did whatever the fuck I wanted. So on one day, me and my brother were just like, let's stay up, right? I think it was during like final exams or something in high school. So we had like early days every single week, right? Every single day. Ugh, can't talk. So we would get out early. I would go home immediately, play games all fucking night long, watch YouTube videos all fucking night long, go to school for like 3-4 hours, get out early, and then repeat. And I repeated that for like 3 days. And on the third day, I was on the verge of a mental breakdown. I was physically crumbling. My knees were shaking. I looked like a crackhead who
got bad
hasn't.
news?
I had bad knees. My knees are bad. I had bad knees. I was shaking in class. I couldn't focus. I was doing that thing where you fall asleep and your like head is like swerving. I was on the verge. And for whatever reason, my brother after school was like, I need to get a haircut. And I was like, okay. And he's like, Mom's gonna drop us off and then she'll pick us back up later. And I was like, us? And then he's like, yeah, she has an appointment, so you can't go with her. I was like, okay. So we went, and she ended up telling me to get a haircut while I was there because my hair was atrocious, like it always is. And so I was like, fine. So my brother gets in the chair, he dabs up the barber, and they start shooting the shit, and he's cutting his hair. And then I get scared because I'm looking at my brother, and as he's getting his haircut, I see his head slowly start drifting down. His eyes are closing, and he starts drifting down. He wakes himself up, and he manages to stay awake the whole time. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm next. And I could barely I'm barely alive right now. I'm not even human. And so I get in the chair. And this is probably one of the most embarrassing haircuts I've ever gotten because I fell asleep damn near 12 times on that fucking chair. I was in and out, and he ended up fucking up my hair because I was moving my head so much. And at one point, I was literally half asleep, barely able to keep my eyes open, and he was just holding my head up for me. My head was laying in his hand, and he was cutting my hair for me. And my brother was like sitting in the lobby, like watching me and just laughing, I think. But my head was like leaning on his hand, like I'm his little princess, and he's just going back there cutting my hair. And I'll give him credit; he did the best that he could do. Fucked up my hair for the next like 2 weeks though. So that's one story. But there's also like times where Tyler came to my house at 3 a.m, and then we went to go get, you know, Thirst Busters at Circle K, and then drive up to Gates Pass. Were you there that time?
No, I don't think. If Tyler went out at 3 a.m., I did not go out with him.
Yeah, he pulled up to my house one night. I don't know why I was up. I think Alfred was there because Alfred was probably up too. And they pulled up to my house and they're like, "Hey, what's up, bitch? We're gonna go get Thirst Busters." And I was like, "Oh, cool, have fun." And they're like, "No, you're coming with." And I was like, "Okay, cool, that's fun." And so we went to the nearest Circle K. We bought a bunch of Thirst Busters, and we got super fucking wild off of all the sugar and caffeine. We drove up to the top of Gates Pass, which is a mountain here in Arizona. For all you people that don't know, it's kind of a mountain.
It's just
We drove up.
I don't even know what they call it.
It's like a big hill, but it's like a mountain. It's like a legitimate mountain. It's just small. We have a lot of mountains here in Arizona. So we drove up to the top of the mountain. We were staring at the stars. We were playing music. We went all the way to the top. We were like climbing the rocks. And then we were driving back down the mountain. And this is where it gets crazy because it's like 4 a.m. I'm there with my sister and my friends. We're all cracked off of fucking soda. I don't even know how much we had. And I know I got school the next day. I know I shouldn't be up. But to make it worse, I don't know if you were here for this one. I might be mixing up my memories. But as we were driving down the windy road in Gates Pass, Alfred started fucking with the headlights and turning off the headlights.
Oh my god, no! I think you're probably fucking up your memory. I think that was a different time.
Was that the different time? Because I know we've done that multiple times.
We've done that multiple times. Maybe just continue on with the story.
Okay, whatever. So we're driving down the mountain, pitch black, middle of the night, and on this road, it's a single lane, right? So it's one lane going this way, one lane going the other way. So 2 lanes altogether, but one single lane. So you have to be careful because it's a very windy road. It goes up and down, it twists and turns, and you can easily hit another car, even during the day, because there's all kinds of brush and trees and rocks in the way, and you can't really see all that well because it turns so much. So me and my dumbass friends were like, let's turn off the lights in the middle of the night and drive down this mountain with no fucking lights. And let me tell you, that was one of the scariest fucking experiences of my life, right next to the other time we did it. We've done that way too many times. And I would fuck around and do it by myself. Like if I ever went up to Gates Pass to go like be depressed, on my way down, I would be like, okay, let's turn off the light. Let's try it. And I would turn out the light and then bitch out after like 10 seconds. But that night that I did it with Tyler and Alfred, they had that bitch off for like maybe 25 seconds. And we're going down this windy road. And every time they turned on the headlights, we were about to drive into the desert or hit a rock. I'm so thankful that there was no cars going on some like late night fuck drives because holy shit, we would have probably died.
I knew that whenever you got in the car with Tyler, you had a chance you were gonna crash.
No, you had a chance you were gonna die. When you got in the car with Tyler, there was like a 20% chance something dumb is gonna happen and you're gonna fucking die. And that's why I loved going with Tyler so much because he would pick me up and he'd be like, let's go off roading. And then next thing you know, we're on private property and they're threatening to shoot us with signs. I think one time me and him and Mike, we went like off roading in the desert near our house, mine and Mike's houses. And we got into a private property area and all the signs were saying like, beware, you're not supposed to be at this point, we will use force if necessary, there are people who are licensed to carry, shit like that, right? And we still kept driving in the middle of the fucking desert. Like Tyler did not give a shit.
I remember where it was me, you, Mike, and Tyler. No, yeah, me, you, Mike, and Tyler. We somehow ended up on one side of the desert when we started on the other. Do you remember that? I don't know how the fuck we got on the other side, but we did.
Yeah, that's the same desert too that we ended up driving into the private property. Like we go in the area by my house, and then we end up, 2 miles away, almost touching the town. And we're like, how the fuck did we get here? We're driving past the casino. We're in all these little windy dirt roads. And then next thing you know, we're in like the middle of our city. And you're like, what the fuck? It's so weird. I loved adventuring with Tyler.
I miss the old group of guys.
It was fun because you never knew what was going to happen. Yeah. We all got together and something was going down. We were going to act like demons. We were going to be mischievous.
Boys, this message is for you. I already said it in the group chat, but whenever Tyler comes back to the States and Alfred comes back in town, we all have to have a beer.
It's going to be great. And dude, imagine the stories we'll have at that point. We all get fucking drunk and we go and do something stupid. Then Mike gets into a fight. Then Alfred is picking up hot moms. Like, it's going to be crazy.
Then if we're all drunk, there's a good 20% chance boost that we're going to die with Tyler driving.
Oh, hell yeah. For sure. For sure. But that's just the chance we have to take, Because that's the OG group right there. And then Bork sometimes, because Bork was a substitute.
Bork was there too.
Bork would come in, and then even Joe would come in sometimes. Our group was a little weird, but like that was the group right there. Like if more than 3 of us got together at one time, something was going down for sure. I fucking miss those guys.
I while you're explaining your all-nighter story, I thought of a question. What is the most amount of time you went without showering?
You can judge me, I don't care, but I think the longest I've ever gone was like a week and a half.
Okay, that's normal. I feel like a lot of teenage boys went about that same time.
Here's a better question, okay? How many times have you made yourself come in one day?
What the fuck, Devin? Don't judge me for this.
What's your record?
Don't judge me for this, but probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
What a weakling!
Oh my god, Devin. I'm not...
At my peak, when I was my degenerate self, when I was in my peak form of degenerosity, I think I hit 9
Devin!
Total. And then I tried to go for 10, but it was just blanks. I wasn't shooting anything at that point.
Have you heard that story where some dude masturbated 43 times and then died?
No. Is that the limit?
That's the limit for somebody, I guess. 43.
I would say even going to like 9 is risky because your body can only take so much stimulus. And then on top of that, like you start to get bored by like the 3rd round. You're like, what am I doing?
So what the fuck were you doing? Like,
I have no clue. I was horny. I was lonely. And I had the house to myself. And
how old are you?
I don't know if I want to say that. I might have been like, no, I can't say it. I can't say
Okay,
it.
Can you say when the first time you masturbated was?
All right, I'll just say the other one. I was I think I was 15 when I came 9 times.
I feel like that's normal.
Yeah, that's definitely normal. But I know a lot of people that I still talk to at that age. You know, I was talking to you at that time. I was going to school and shaking your hand, knowing damn well this last weekend I was jerking my shit. I was acting completely normal, going to school like everything is fine.
So
No, like I wasn't doing that shit.
so um you don't want to say when you first started masturbating?
I'll fucking say it. I don't give a fuck. The very first time I ever masturbated, I was 6 years old.
6? I was 9, and I thought I was pushing it.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I've always been this way. You know which way I'm talking about. Even the audience at this point is probably picking up on it already. I've always just been this way. I don't know why. I got my very first girlfriend at the age of 7, and we stayed together for 3 years. We stayed together until I was like 10. And it was like a legit ass relationship. We called each other every single day. We hung out every single day at school. I went to her birthday party on multiple occasions. I went to her house. We sent each other letters. It was insane. She knew my whole family. That was my first relationship, 8 years old. Or excuse me, 7 years old.
Devin, I wouldn't count that as a relationship.
I know. I'm not counting
Oh,
it as
okay.
like an official technical relationship, but that was the first time I was like experimenting with that. I was developing crushes on girls all the way back in fucking kindergarten. I still, to this day, remember the name of my crush from kindergarten.
Me too. Me too. I feel
Do you?
yeah. Her name was Ashley.
Her name was Destiny, but I know a lot of Destiny, so it just it kind of comes off weird. But that original Destiny though, I can't say she was fine because she was like 6, but you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that original Destiny
Mhm.
stole my 6-year-old heart.
There was another point I wanted to bring up.
Okay, I got one. I want to, because I don't want to do a super long episode this week, and I think we're getting to a good time. So to kind of like wind down the show, I want to know some of like your bad kid stories, like when you were like a degenerate little asshole kid. I could go first, or you could go first, whatever you prefer.
I think you should go first because I still need to think of some.
Okay, like obviously doing something like lying to your teacher is bad, but I'm not talking in that kind of terms. I'm
Mhm.
talking like you were a genuine menace to society, right? So, like, here's an example. Me and my childhood best friend, Chris. Well, not childhood. I had my teenage best friend, Chris. We used to do a lot of dumb shit together. And I'm sure I'll get into more stories in the future. But to introduce the topic a little bit, one of the things we did, right, when we were bored one day during the summer, we went walking around my grandmother's neighborhood. We saw a house that we just assumed was abandoned, right?
Mhm.
And so we were like, let's fuck up this house. And we grabbed a bunch of rocks and we started breaking the windows of the house because it was all dark inside. It looked dilapidated on the front. And then after we broke the windows, we started walking towards the house and like looking in. And we saw that there was still some old furniture that nobody had taken out yet. And then we saw, I don't know if it was like a half drinking like Gatorade bottle, but we saw something in there that indicated people still lived there. So we immediately booked the hell out of there and ran back to my nana's house and just played in the backyard. And we were only like 12.
Okay. That okay. Uh, this happened when I was in first grade. So I had a class with the teacher's son, and the teacher's son was teaching the class. And there's one time I was laying on the carpet, and I saw him running like circles in the classroom, and I thought to myself, like, I'm gonna trip this motherfucker. And when he was coming back around to where the carpet was and where I was laying, I intentionally stuck my legs out to trip him, and he fucking tripped and hit the ground hard.
Ooh.
And then I acted like I didn't do it. I acted like I didn't do it. I'm like, fuck. I'm gonna use your name. I'm like, Devin, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I think I tripped on the chair, and I
Ooh.
was like,
That's not too bad though. That's not too bad.
and
How old are you?
first grade.
So that dude, that's normal.
I never did anything bad like you.
You never had a delinquency phase, like where
No,
you were just like a dick?
no.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, see, now I'm gonna feel like an asshole telling my stories because I got a lot more.
Maybe I do, but I can't think of them. Oh, I
Okay,
have.
like, well, here's an innocent one.
I have.
Like for me, okay, go
I
ahead, go
ha-
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
have one. There was one time my dad was he was working underneath the hood and like fixing the engine or something of the car. I purposely knocked the stand off where it was holding where it was holding
Oh my
the hood,
god.
and it dropped, and then I ran away. And my
He was just stuck out there like ah.
yeah, and my mom saw my dad through the kitchen window, like dead
Stuck,
stuck,
getting burned.
and, and she went out running, and I acted like I was playing in the backyard, and I went out running too to try to help him.
Okay, see, that's more what I'm talking about because I did something very similar as a kid, and to this day, I still feel bad about it, but it makes me laugh, so I feel like an asshole. My tata used to watch me and my siblings as we played outside as kids. My nana had this very unique way of babysitting us where she would have us watch TV until about 9 to 10 o'clock and then kick us outside until about 2 o'clock.
In the
So we'd
morning,
be
in the
watching
afternoon.
TV. Yeah, so we'd be watching TV from like 6 in the morning to 10 in the morning, eating breakfast, hanging out, relaxing, right? Maybe we'd be playing outside a little bit. Then around 9 or 10, she would kick us out for sure. And then we'd stay out there until 2 p.m. And we would just have to entertain ourselves. We would use whatever she had available. Like we would play on the playset she had. We would play with McDonald's toys. We just made up games to keep ourselves entertained and not go crazy. And it usually led us to doing a bunch of bad shit. Like we would break my nana's stuff. We would turn on her water hose and we would start like running around the yard spraying water everywhere for like 2 hours straight. And then she would come outside, see us with the water hose, and realize that we've been playing with the water hose for 2 hours and her water bill was going to be insane this month. And so like we used to do a lot of bad shit. But for whatever reason, my poor, kind hearted tata, my grandfather, the man who ended up becoming one of my biggest role models in life, was the target of our degenerosity time and time again. That poor, lovable man, not a single bone of hatred in his body, mild mannered, silent, kind hearted, one of the easiest people to love on this planet. And me and my siblings targeted him for our benefit. Here's an example. My tata, for whatever reason, hated the sensation of being wet. He just did. Like he even hated taking showers because he didn't like the way it felt to be wet and to be cold. A lot of it came from his PTSD being in the Korean War and being in Korea and being cold all the time. He just didn't like the sensation that it brought and the memories that it brought. But he also hated the sensation of being wet. And so me and my siblings, being the little assholes we were, would go grab my nana's water key. We would grab the little head, the spout, not the spout, but the head for the spout from the roof, wherever she put it. We would attach it onto the spout. We would turn it on and we would get like a bucket of water. We would get the water hose or whatever, right? And then we would stealthily walk behind my tata's chair because he sat in the same place every single day. He sat in this like swinging chair, and we would pour water on him
Oh, it's fucked up.
just to do it, right? Like you already tell it's fucked up because like the way I'm describing him, I thought that's kind-hearted. He never yelled. He barely even spoke. He was quiet. He was a great guy. He would give you anything you wanted. He loved spoiling people. And so we would go behind him and to thank him for his generosity. We would pour water on him. When we turned on the water hose, we would run to the middle of the yard and start spraying him. And he couldn't escape. And so he would try to run inside to safety, but my nana would lock us outside. And so the porch would be locked. The porch door would be locked. So he's running to my tata, he's like 65. He's running to the actual door as much as he can run. And then he's like trying to wiggle it and he can't get in. And so we run up with the water hose and we start spraying him. And he's yelling at us. He's like, "Get away from me, cabron! Stop spraying me!" And he's yelling at us. And then he's yelling at my nana inside to open the door and let him in. And she's yelling at him from inside, telling him to go away. And so then it's just this cycle of abuse that would constantly happen, right? So that was one example, but the one that always makes me feel bad when I think about it was the time that me and my siblings put bees and ants on him.
Oh my god, Devin.
I don't know why we did this, and to this day, I still think about it on an almost weekly basis and feel bad. I beat myself up about it constantly, but for whatever reason, it was the funniest shit as a 6-year-old. We would get like a black ant from the floor, and we would put it on his shoulder, right? And it would just start walking around his shoulder, and he wouldn't notice it. And we're like, okay, let's get another ant. So then we would get another ant, and we would put it on his shoulder. And so he had like these 2 ants on his shoulder, and then they weren't doing nothing. So then my brother got the bright idea of putting the ant inside of his shirt. So then we got the ant, we put it like on his neck, on his collar, and then the ant started walking down his back. And then before he had a chance to like react, we got another ant and we just threw it on his hair. And so then we sat back and we waited. And 30 seconds later, he jumps up from his porch swing and starts screaming and hollering, kicking all the ants off of him. And like, what's this called? Flagging his shirt. I don't know. He was adjusting his shirt and yelling at us. And then my nana came out and saw us like what we were doing to him, and she gave us a good fucking yelling. And then she started hitting us too and chasing us with her chanclas. So we ran out into the desert. But to this day, I still feel bad about that.
You guys as kids are the reason why I hate kids.
I was a complete dickhead as a kid. Like if you saw me as a kid, you wouldn't think I ended up being the person I am now, because I did not care about
Devin,
anybody as a kid.
If I knew you as a kid, I wouldn't be friends with you right now.
Oh no, trust me, we didn't have that many friends as kids because we bullied everybody we knew and we hated everybody. I'm surprised I ended up reverting from that. But as a kid, I was a genuine menace. Those are just some stories because I got a lot of stories of the bad shit we did. But for now, I think that's a good stopping point. I don't want everybody to start hating me after I just start telling all these stories in one episode.
You're the reason why you guys as kids are the reason why I hate kids.
We've changed. We've grown up. We've become kind, generous people. But as kids, we did a lot of fucked up shit for no reason, like breaking people's glasses on their house or their windows, breaking people's windows, throwing ants on my tata, wasting my nana's water. We were degenerates. And you know the saying that your kids are going to be worse than what you were to teach you a lesson? I'm really hoping that's not the case because I don't want to have to beat my kids. Like if they're doing shit that was worse than what I was doing, I don't know if I'd be able to take it mentally. I really don't want to beat the shit out of my kids. But I will if I have to. Should I bleep that out? That sounds controversial.
Beating your kids?
Yeah.
That is controversial.
Be some sense. No, I think everybody can agree that when a kid is doing something so genuinely bad that all of us are like, what the fuck? You should be beating your kids.
You should at least spank them.
No, they need a good ass whooping. They need to realize that they're doing something wrong.
I never...
Because,
I mean, I understand why people think hitting your kids is bad, but that's discipline.
Yeah, you don't need to go to the extreme, but like I've got lots of ass whooping in my life, and I think it's because of that I ended up learning what was good and what wasn't. I used to get lectures that would completely make me question who I was as a person. I would get beatings. I would get the weirdest punishments imaginable, and it completely changed my mindset. Like the weirdest ones you could think of that just fuck with you. But we'll get into that another time because I'll be here all fucking day. Do you have anything that you want to add to the end of the show?
Whatever I said at the beginning of the show, do not take my advice. Do not tell yourself mean things because most people think it's very bad. It just works for me.
What the fuck? Why are you trying to like make it? You're like, they don't understand us, but don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't whatever I did, whatever I said in the beginning of the episode, take with a grain of salt. That's it.
Yeah, you guys shouldn't be trying to be like any of us, at least at this point. We're still growing as people. We're only in our early 20s. We're discovering who we are. So like, use this as a chance to gain some perspective on the people around you and to gain insight into how other people's minds work. But don't take anything we say too seriously to the point where you're starting to make real life like changes based off of what we've said or done. Except when it's me, because I'm pretty great, you know. I could tell you're cringing. You're like, I fucking hate when people act like that. Okay, well, anything else you'd like to add before I start closing it up?
No.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into today's episode. I hope you all really enjoyed it. I hope you all are doing well. You guys are all beautiful. You're all loved. You're all cherished. Also, I would really, really, really greatly appreciate it if you guys went and rated the show on whatever platform you're listening to. So if you're on Apple, you know, go give the show 5 stars. If you're on Spotify, 5 stars. Google, even 5 stars, please. Thank you. I love you all. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
This concludes the Moon Men podcast. The end.